The Parshat HaShavua in the weekly portion, Mesupar is told, Asher Moshe Rabbeinu Shlach Meraglim LaTorah Oretz. That Moses sent spies, scouts, to check out the land of Israel, to see what the land is made of, who the people are, what's the best way to conquer it. But it was sure that the Jewish people were going to go in and conquer the land. The question was just, what's the most efficient way? V'tziva lahem lirot beit avarim. And he told them to do two things. First of all, the people that are living there, are they strong or are they weak? And number two, ma ha'oretz, how is the land itself? Is the land good? Is it fat? Okay, so first of all, Moses said to the spies, first of all, I want you to investigate what type of people are there. Are they strong? Are they big? Are they powerful? And then, after that, what type of land there is. Right? What type of, is it a good land? Is it going to be fertile? When the spies came back, Torah, so now that's the beginning here. Sipru benogea based avarim, they did what they were told to do. They said, the land of Israel is Zvat Chalav Dvash. It's flowing milk and honey, and this is its fruits. And regarding the people, Ki az ha'am Yeshiva Ohr, the people there are very strong, and they are very big. So the cities are very powerful. Immediately, as soon as they finished, V'hayas Kalev stood up, and he said, wait a second, don't listen to them. The land is very good. We're going to go. What do you mean don't listen? They were very good. The spies didn't even make their opinion yet. They didn't say, we can't go in. It's too much. All they did was come back, right? And they said, the people are very powerful, and the land is, the land is very beautiful, and the people are very powerful. True, it was the opposite order that Moses said, but they did what Moses told them. Moses said, go and tell us how the people are, if they're strong, and how the land is. And they came back and they said, we're reporting. First of all, the land. The land is beautiful. It has these tremendous fruits. Here, look at these fruits, amazing place. And then they told about the people. Immediately when they did that, Kalev stood up and said, don't listen to them. Don't listen, we're going to go in. What's wrong? The people didn't even say, they didn't say don't go, and the people didn't say we're not going. Tzorech Lav, we have to understand. Hari devorim elu hem ach tshuva al shayla shel Moshe. What these spies came back and said was just answering the questions that Moses asked. Moses sent them in to spy out two things, the people and the land. Rak acharei vayas Kalev, then they said, lo nuchal la'alot. The spies only gave their opinion after Kalev told them to be quiet. Right? They just came back and said facts. The land is very beautiful and the people are very strong. That's all. The spies didn't say, hey, we can't do it. Right? They didn't.
What does that
Eventually they did.
What does that mean? The land is very beautiful. It sounds like we were talking about in the last class. The land is very beautiful. It's very seductive. It's going to bring you in.
No. They say here are the fruits. Here it's very great, wonderful land, very fertile. This is the land of God. That's what they told them first. And the second thing they said, the people there are very strong. So what? I mean, that's exactly what Moses told them to do. Says the Rebbe, look in the sentences and you'll see that as soon as they came back, and they just reported, they didn't put in their opinion or anything. They reported and said, the land is beautiful and the people are strong. Immediately Kalev, who was together with the Yeshua and Kalev, stood up and said, no, don't listen to them. We're going to go and conquer the land. After Kalev said that, then the spies said, we can't conquer the land. It's too powerful. Why did Kalev tell them to be quiet? They didn't say anything wrong yet. They didn't give their opinion. Tzorech Lav, we have to understand, that which they said was only a reply to what Moshe asked. Report on the land, report on the people. And they reported. Inyan says like this: the sin of the Meraglim was sheshine b'ma'ana shelaem et seder. That exactly that they changed the order of things. Moshe tziva otam. Moshe first of all said, "Go see the people. Are the people strong or are they weak?" And afterwards report on the land. In the beginning, odo tamilchama v'kibush. In the beginning, you should think about who are these people that God is commanding you to conquer. They are strong. What do we care? God is telling us to go in. We're going to get them. We're going to strong. The stronger, the better. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. B'davar harevach v'aschar ki. I'm saying b'tchila odo tamilchama v'kibush v'achar kach, and only afterwards, what's going to be the reward? Ki ikar haya, the taking over the land and fighting. But what happened? As soon as they came back and made everybody think about the rewards, so people started thinking about themselves. Oh, nice land, nice fruits, right? Wonderful. People thought about themselves. They stopped thinking about God. This is going to be the benefits I'm going to get. Wonderful. God was okay. But the people we saw were very powerful. We to fight against big people like this, just for a few fruits, not going to do it. If they would have said the people first, so everyone would have been thinking, when people were thinking about God, right? So everyone would have said, oh, whatever God says we're going to do, I don't care how big the people are. But the spies cleverly made everybody think about themselves first. What benefits we're going to get. Lo od ela shekadim achazak laharofeh. First of all, they said that the people are strong, right? Ki hamilchama v'kivush et ha'oretz. Moshe. When Moshe sent the spies in, he said, go in and tell me, are the people there strong or are they weak? I'd rather, tell me the truth. Are they strong or are they weak? I'd rather hear that they're strong, because that'll make the people say, we're not afraid of anybody. We're thinking about God, we're not afraid of anyone. Ki hamilchama v'kivush et ha'oretz tzorech liot almanat v'af al pi shehu chazak. It has to be in order to take over even strong people. Also, we can say sha'al yedei shahochim b'mesirat nefesh v'lechom, because they went in with self-sacrifice, and knowing that these people were strong, that itself makes the people weak. That makes the people weak. In other words, what's Moshe Rabbeinu saying? You're going to take over the land of Israel? Think only about God. Don't think about yourself. Mesirut nefesh, self-sacrifice. If you do it that way, you're going to win for sure. That's what they say in the 6-Day War. One of the biggest miracles of the 6-Day War was that we actually fought. That was the big miracle. Not that we won, right? That we won was a big miracle. But the bigger miracle was that we started it, right? Usually we're afraid of being called the aggressor. What did the spies do? First of all, the reward. Zavat chalav davashu, the land is flowing milk and honey. And afterwards about the war. Ki aza'am yoshev boards, because the people in the land of Israel are strong. Oh, kishara Kalev, when Kalev, who was on the side of Moshe, saw that the Ikar Etzlam Muaschar, when he saw that the spies cleverly were trying to bring the people to think about themselves, Avodasim Yalmanas the Kabal Pras, that the whole reason they're going into the land of Israel is only what they're going to receive, Miyad Ishtikam, he told them to be quiet. Ki kasher avodah ubishvil pras, if a person is serving God in order what he's going to receive, whether it's physical or spiritual, mechashvim cheshbonos, all of a sudden you start making all sorts of calculations. Is it going to be easy? What's the best? How can I make the least investment and the best return? If it's worthwhile, bishvil schar zeh. Ba'avodah kasher yoter enu kadai. And if it's too hard, it's not worthwhile. Ad shalul tot, until you can make a mistake. That if the service is too hard, then we can't do it. That's what the Jewish people said. No nuchal lirot, we can't do it. Get the people to think about themselves, you got them in your hand. You got them in your hand. It's not worthwhile.
And what did Moshe ask them to report back on the land? Why not just the people?
First of all, he wanted to know that people should say, he wanted the people to have a proper, how do you say it, a value pyramid of values. The top value is doing what God wants. Next value is to know that the land is going to be very fertile, it's going to be very good. He wants them to use the land. He wants them to know that God is providing for them. Even more, the same attitude that you have going in, fighting with the people, with the enemy, that's the same attitude you should have with the fertile land. Right? You're not getting it just because you deserve it or it's you're getting it because God wants you to have it. And you have to use it for what God wants. As Pashtusa the Moshe B'Kol Dor, every generation there has to be a Moses. But the reign in our generation, it's the previous Rebbe. Asher B'Shneim Esr Chodesh Tammuz, that in the 12th day of Tammuz, which this is the day Shayom Zehu Shayom Zehu, what's the Shin Mem HaChodesh Tammuz? Shabbos Mevorchin. Visit. No, can't be. Oh, I understand. The Rebbe gave this Sicha over on Shabbos Mevorchin Tammuz. This speech the Lubavitcher Rebbe said on Tafshin Yud, Parshat Shlach, the month of Tammuz. In other words, just several months after the previous Rebbe had passed away. Right? The previous Rebbe had passed away in Shvat, and now the Rebbe is giving this over in the month of, right before Tammuz. So, Hu Yom Oleret V'Gulato, that the Yud Beis Tammuz is the day of the birthday and the day of redemption of the previous Rebbe. Mehorot Shalenu Lilmod, we have to learn from the spies is not to change anything. Don't even change the order of things in the words that the Rebbe said, because a little bit of a change in the words of the Rebbe can bring a tremendous mistake until that it's this can even come to the proportions of the mistake of the Meraglim. Even more, the spies, that they were the chief, they were the heads of the Jewish people. If they made a mistake, how much more so we can make a mistake. Therefore, the Rebbe is saying, don't make any changes in what the previous Rebbe said we should do. We have to do everything exactly. Very, very important to follow exactly the words of the Rav. Even though that everything you do is exactly right, properly. But the order you changed, that could cause the tremendous tragedy that was brought about by the spies. And that eventually was, the spies came back on the 9th day of Av. That's when both temples were destroyed, etc. So Jewish people have to serve God with what we call self-sacrifice, joy, to do what the Creator of the universe wants, and not to be selfish. And with that, we will certainly succeed.